Today, I'm going to share a message that I got from a church service on Sunday that I went to. So I really enjoy being back at in-person service. It's amazing. And on Sunday, I just felt called to share some of this stuff with you guys because I was thinking about a few of you while I was listening to this service as well as me. So I hope you guys like it. All right, I was sitting in church on Sunday. I go to a church called Church of the City in Franklin, Tennessee. There was a pastor there called Jon Tyson. So John is the pastor up in Church of the City, New York, in New York City. We planted a church up there not long ago, just before COVID, actually. It's been a little crazy. They're looking for a place to meet. It's a different world up there. But he has done the Thanksgiving service every year for the past few years, at least since I've been going. I've been going there for about 5 years now. It was a really interesting message that hit me pretty hard, and I thought it might hit some of you guys hard, so I wanted to share some of it. And the boundary and the structure of his whole message was about trust and trusting in God. This has been a topic that's come up inside of our company, Seven Figure Flipping, over the past few months, I feel like, is trust. Like trusting in each other, trusting that somebody else is going to do the things that they say they're going to do, or just building trust in each other to the point where we feel like we have a good team balance. But the biggest thing that I heard him talk about was trusting God on timing things. The quote that I wrote down, and I'm reading from my phone because I forgot my journal. He said, God doesn't work on our time frame. So you guys ever feel like that? Like you're asking for something or you're praying for something and it's not showing up and it's not showing up and it's not showing up. And you're like, you know what? I'm just going to give up on this. Like I'm done. I'm not going to continue to ask because you're not providing for me. Right? It's what you need. He doesn't work on our timeline. So you ever pray for something or something happens and then you see it like years later, how it all unfolded and why? I talked about it a little bit at Flip Hacking Live about some of our failures, and I talk about Walt Disney, like the failure is really the path to success. We just don't see it, and the variable is time. So him saying that, God doesn't work on our time frame. And he said, instead of saying, Lord, I trust you, we try to do it ourselves, right? We take it on ourselves. If you're not going to help me, then I'm just going to do it myself. I'm going to carry all this weight on my shoulders, right? Really what we're saying is I can't trust you, so I'm going to take care of it. We want things on our timeline, on our agenda, when it's suitable and reasonable for us and it makes the most sense for us. But a lot of times what we need to do, if we just go fast and we say, you know, we don't trust you, so we're going to take it on ourselves, we lose favor in God. And so we lose that favor with him. We lose the relationship, the intimate relationship that we're trying to build, right? And I'll be honest, like I have really shied away from doing a podcast like this or talking about these things on the show. I had a pastor, CZ, on the podcast probably about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. And it was the first one that I had ever done talking about God and the relationship with Christ and those kind of things. And I just felt like I was sitting there saying, I feel like they're talking to me today. This Holy Spirit is moving inside of me to share this message with you guys. And so this is out of my typical show, but it's my show, so I'm doing it. So is there something in your life, and I know there is in mine, where I feel like I need to be in control and it needs to be on my timeline? I'm just going to take over if he's not providing that for me. So I would ask you, is there anything that you're doing in your life where you're saying, you know what, I'm not willing to wait, I'm impatient, and I'm not willing to continue to pray for this thing, and I'm just going to take it on my own if you're not going to help me? And I would challenge you to say, we really have to continue to build our trust because like John said, God doesn't work on our time frame. He doesn't work on our time frame. He knows what you need, and he knows who you are, and he knows you. He's providing for you. And if you don't feel like that's happening, just keep going. Like it's not on our time frame that it works. He said we can't go into our relationship with God as a business transaction. When we put the expectations on the relationship with him, we add distance to him. So it's not a business transaction. It's not, I need this right now. If I don't get it, I'll do it myself. And so that's the challenge that I had is I'm really impatient person. And I think I need to sit in that and become more patient when I'm praying and when I'm looking for things or I'm looking to him to help support. Jon Tyson asked a specific question. He said, is there a place in your heart where you're saying, God, if you don't blank, then I'm out and I'll take care of it myself? And almost like putting an ultimatum on that relationship. That's not the way that you build a relationship anywhere, let alone one with our Father. That is the kind of timeline piece that was shared, and I feel like a lot of us do that. We expect instant results. And that's kind of been ingrained in us a little bit. And the other piece was control. So trying to control the situation when we really have no control. It's interesting because he gave this analogy of a trapeze. So he told this long story. I couldn't do it justice if I tried. But what he talked about was going up on the trapeze. These trapeze artists, which I'm sure you've seen, they're potentially like hundreds of feet above the ground, swinging and letting go of the trapeze, and somebody else is grabbing hold of them to catch them. Inside of this, like, to learn how to do this, there's like an art to this. And what there is the whole story kind of unfolded and manifested in the fact that when you're learning this trapeze, you think like, I'm not going to let go, like I'm going to die, all these things. You have to really put your trust in someone else to catch you. But you don't know the exact time to let go. As you're learning, you're really just going to like hold on and like death grip the trapeze basically and just say like, I'm not ready to let go. I don't know when. And the other person that's catching you doesn't really know. They're focused on their stuff too. And you're trying to, if it's up to you to figure out when to let go, you'll hold on too long, or you'll let go too early, or you'll hit the wrong cue, because all you can see is your point of view. But what he talked about is in all of that, at the circus, at this trapeze, there's somebody who can see the whole thing. They sit up high, they watch the entire thing unfold. They can know the exact timing of when to let go, when the other person can catch you, all of those things. And they have a specific word that they say that even there's this loud, you're in a tent potentially, or if you're at Cirque du Soleil or something like that, it's really loud in there, right? And you have to basically just focus and block out all the noise to be able to just hear that sound and trust and let go. So trust the person that can see the entire picture. They can see the both swings, both of the trapezes. They can see both people. They can see the positioning. They can see everything. And they're trained. They understand. They've been doing this for dozens and dozens of years, and they can say that word that you can hear it and you can say, okay, let go. They're going to catch me, and I'm putting my trust in that person. And what was interesting to see, or when I was listening to this, is there's always someone who can see the whole picture. And when they call, you let go, and you put your trust in that, right? The person who can see the whole picture. And when he was telling the story, I was like, man, this is exactly it. Like, God can see the whole picture. He can see everything that's going on. He can see what you need, what the people around you need, what the timing is, everything. When he whispers that word or that moment or that thing to you, that's when you know you can let go. Like, he knows. He already has the plan. Like, we're trying to come up with the whole plan of where we're going and what we're doing, and trying to control everything. And if he's not going to help us right now, then we'll just do it ourselves. But what we have to realize is that he can see the whole picture, and he can help us, and he knows us. He planned the time that we were born. He knows us each by name. He knows what we need and when we need it. He has a purpose for us in our lives. It's a higher purpose than we can even imagine right now. And he knows all of those things. And this message hit me so hard on Sunday. I'm always trying to control everything. I'm trying to work the timing. I'm trying to make sure I don't miss something. I'm trying to do it all. And I am afraid to let go. I am afraid to feel like I'm out of control. But I think the moment that I hear that, like, I let go, I put my trust in God, like truly not hold anything back. That is the moment, I think, that I will get that whisper. I will know the plan. I will see it. It will be obvious. Like, it's amazing. He asked the question at the end. He said, what are you holding on to? What won't you let go of? And what are you trying to control right now? It's not a business transaction. It's not a tit for tat. If you do this for me, then I will serve you, follow you, believe in you, put all my trust in you. If you do this for me, then I will trust you. No, it doesn't work that way. You trust, and you trust, and you trust, and you trust, and you go, and you go, and you go. And he's always there. He knows what you need and where you're going and your purpose and the direction that you need, and the little tap here and there, and that message or that download or that thing that happens that you're like, wow, how did this relationship even happen? How did I meet this person? Like, none of this makes sense. You're being directed in the path that you need to go, and the things that you're going through right now are exactly where you need to be. Keep going, keep pushing, go by faith. And put your trust, let go of control, let go of everything that you think that you know and you control. This is the message that I heard on Sunday. He's watching all the time and he sees the whole picture. He knows us by name. We were born at a certain time. Our purpose, it's already been written, basically. We are here to serve, and we're here to help each other and make that impact, that stewardship, all of the things that we're here to do. And he knows. Like it's so exciting to be able to try to practice this more for myself. Share this message. I felt called to just like drive straight here to the office. I didn't. I took a day. I spent time with my family. I came in today saying I have to share this message. It's a little bit different, but I don't care. There's somebody that needs to hear this right now, and I was that person on Sunday, so I'm sharing it with you. Church of the City, Franklin, Tennessee, they put all of their sermons on YouTube and on their Facebook page. So you can go search this. You can listen to the entire talk that John gave. It was amazing. I would highly encourage you guys to do that. But this is some of my takeaways and the things that I saw. You can hear the whole trapeze story there. It was amazing. It was so powerful. I probably didn't do it justice, but I would say, do you have an intimate relationship with God? Are you truly trusting, or is it trust based on, if I get this, then I will trust you? Start with trust, lead with trust, and you will be amazed at what happens going forward. So at the end, he said, we all sat down and said, what are we holding back? What are we trying to control? What are we doing? And in Luke, at the end, Jesus' last words on earth were, Father, into your hands I commit my spirit. And what he asked of us is say, what are we holding back? What are the things that we're really keeping and holding tight and trying to control and not willing to allow for the time that's needed to get to where we need to go, or where we want to go, or where we're trying to go? What is our quote? Father, into your hands I commit blank. What are we holding back? That last moment of our service as we're closing our eyes and praying into this. For me, I'm not going to share what mine is, but I'm going to ask you to think about what yours is. What are you holding on to? What are you not willing to let go of? What are you not trusting in? And take that and say, Father, into your hands I commit blank. I commit this, I commit to you this. Put that trust in him. I think, like me, you will be challenged over the next months, days, years, however long. There's going to be times where you're like, you know what? I prayed for months and months and months or years, and it still hasn't come. He knows the right time that you need that thing. So put your trust in him. I'm going to do it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope this is a message you needed to hear. It's short as I could keep it. It was a powerful message for me on Sunday. And if you haven't gone back to in-person church, if you haven't gone back to church, if you've come away from the church or away from God, I would just hopefully be that voice of encouragement to go back there, go back to in-person service, go back to even a virtual church service if you haven't been going. Go back and explore your faith and explore your feelings and thoughts towards all of this. I think that I will be more vocal on this going forward, and it's been part of some of my limiting beliefs, or where I hit a wall of like, you know what, I just need to be myself out there. Like, I don't want to hold back. I share tons of other uncomfortable things on the podcast, but church and God and all these things, at least in my house growing up, it wasn't necessarily something that was on the forefront for me. And I'd say 6 years ago or so, it was a total transition for me to really show up in church and give myself to God and my faith and spend more time in the Word and all of those things. So that's what's going on with me. It was an amazing service on Sunday. I highly encourage you guys to go check out the full service. And by no means am I saying this should replace where you go to church, what you listen to, those kind of things. It was just an amazing message that I think a lot of you would get a ton from. So thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for listening. I'll see you guys in a couple days on another podcast. See you later. Bye.